So we're slowly transitioning to the fall season, and we have some starts that's about a month old that's ready to go into the beds. But before we do that, there's a few things that we have to do, like hardening them off. So in this video, we're going to show you how to harden off your starts, and we're going to start right now. What's going on YouTube gardening? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardener channel. In this video we're going to show you how to harden off your seed starts before transition them into the beds or wherever you're growing at. Now if you like these types of video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss an upload. So we've been slowly transitioning and been clearing out a lot of the beds from our summer crops. And now the last thing that we have to do, or one of the last few things that we have to do, is take down the shade cloth. Now the dilemma with the shade cloth is we have our loofah vine that's going up and has been crawling over the shade cloth and been going up into the trees, reaching up into the branches and grabbing onto the trees. So when we're taking this shade cloth down, we're going to have to somehow make sure when we're taking it down that it doesn't harm any of the vines, and that way we could propagate or put the vines in another location so that way the loofahs can continue to grow and hopefully give us more loofahs. Alright, so I think how we're going to do this is we're going to start on this side and work our way down here, and then I'm going to have Mrs. Naked Gardener slowly making sure that none of the vines, because some of the loofahs has been have this tendrils coming through this shade cloth, and see if we can slowly just kind of untangle some of the tendrils through the shade cloth, and then once we get it all down, see if we can clip it onto one of these other trellises or go around these raised beds. So let's see how we can do that. Alright, so we got that all finished. Now it's time to start amending the bed so that way we can get a nice harvest for the fall season. And how we're going to amend it, we're going to do some compost, some manure, and some peat moss, so that way we can add some organic matter into the beds. And then we're going to add some additional amendments like some azomite, some kelp meal, and some worm casting. That way we'll be able to have the micronutrients and the trace minerals. And then we're going to add some vermiculite over here into the beds that kind of help retain some of the moisture so we won't have to water as much. Luckily for the fall season, the sun won't be beating down on the bed, so we won't have to water as much. That's the good thing about the fall seasons. We don't have to worry about the pest control, besides maybe the aphids and maybe some white moth. So
And some rodents.
and some rodents, but we got a way. I think we might have a final solution for that this year. Last year, we had some rodents eat a lot of our brassicas seedlings and our seedling starts. But this way, this new thing, I think I found a solution. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we have this worm bin right here. And so what I'm going to try to do, normally I would either have a tarp right here or the wheelbarrow that's mixing all the mixture, growing medium into this wheelbarrow or on the tarp. But I'm going to sift out one particular organic matter one at a time and then put it into the bed and then mix it as I go through. Whatever's left over from the sifting, we're going to add it into the worm bin. All right, so it's the following morning. It got a little dark, so we couldn't show you most of the footage of us filling out the beds, but we got the drip irrigations set into these beds now. So the next step is going to show you how to harden off your plants. Now, the reason why you want to harden off your plants is kind of get them acclimated to the outside temperatures, especially when you're coming in from indoors to outside. You don't want to put that much stress onto them. So let's show you what it looks like. All right, so now we're here showing you how to harden off. You basically, what you normally would like to do is bring your plants out, your seed starts about an hour, and just add an hour each day for a period of 7 days. Now, there's a quick method because if you don't, if you have like a large selection of starts like these, another quick method to reduce all of that, bringing them in and out, is when you have check your forecast, look for 3 consecutive days of overcast, and then bring your plants out early in the morning and have them out the whole day, and do that for 3 days. Now, for instance, if one of those days is no overcast and there's going to be no clouds whatsoever, what you can do then is have them out in the sun, in the morning sun, get that morning sun, and then have them out in the shade, or what we have here is a pergola, so that way it kind of reduces the UV rays going straight onto it. Now, even though it's going to be an overcast, the sun is still going to be a lot more powerful than off of your grow lights that you're going to have, and it helps thicken up your leaves, as you can see here. This is our day 7, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can basically just have these all out now. However, we're still getting temperatures in the 90 degrees, so we are going to bring them in. But we do have a little bit cooler nights, about 75 degrees at night. So we're going to get into a stage now that we can start transitioning them and transplant them into our raised beds. Another thing that you want to kind of look out for is you want to keep these off the ground, for the simple fact that, especially if you put them on the concrete ground, it's going to add too much heat to the roots. And then when you're bringing them in, you want to do like a little neem oil spray. If you're interested about that, we'll put that in the card above, because you're bringing them from outside to inside, and sometimes you have some bugs. So if you start seeing bugs inside of it when you bring them in, to let them kind of recover, just spray some neem oil spray on there, and that will hopefully prevent or get rid of all of the bugs that you have. Now, the last step is just to bottom water, or you could do a spray little mist on here, but we choose to do a lot of bottom watering. and that just helps put the nutrients inside of the plants when you're feeding it, and kind of water it at the same time. Now, if you like this type of video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, you still haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Now, if you're interested in learning other garden tips and DIYs, make sure you hit this playlist so that way you can see what other things that we do into the garden. Until the next video, let's grow together.